Betrayed by blood, while your family rejects you, the shocking truth revealed. You are not born to fit into a box created by people too afraid to leave theirs. Listen to me closely, because today I'm not just talking to your mind. I'm speaking directly to your soul. You've been rejected, haven't you? Not by strangers, not by enemies, but by your own blood. Maybe they told you you're not enough. Maybe they laughed at your dreams. Or maybe worse, they were silent when you needed them most. And now you carry that wound, that ache, that eternal question. Why doesn't my family accept me? Here's the shocking truth. It's not about you. It was never about you. Your growth scares them. Your healing threatens the patterns they refuse to break. Your courage shines a light on the comfort zones they built their lives around. You are not being rejected because you are weak. You're being rejected because you're strong enough to change what they couldn't. Let me ask you, are you willing to shrink so they can stay comfortable? Or are you ready to stand tall, alone if you must, and lead a life that rewrites your entire lineage? Pain becomes power the moment you stop asking, why me, and start declaring, why not me? And you're not the black sheep, you're the blueprint. And yes, it hurts. Of course it does. Rejection from blood cuts deeper than any wound, but your destiny isn't tied to who shares your DNA. Your destiny is tied to who shares your vision. This is your moment to stop seeking approval from people who are too broken to see your brilliance. You owe no one an apology for evolving. You owe no one an explanation for choosing peace over pleasing. You owe it to yourself to walk the path your soul signed up for, even if you walk it alone at first. Because here's what happens. When you commit to your truth, when you rise despite the rejection, you give others permission to do the same. You become the leader they never saw coming. You are not abandoned. You are chosen. Chosen to be the one who ends the cycles. Chosen to break the chains. Chosen to create a new legacy built not on pain, but on purpose. So stand up, wipe your tears, and say this with me. I was betrayed by blood, but I'm building a family through truth. I am not rejected. I am redirected. I am the one they'll never forget. Now go prove it. Rejection is not about your worth. It's about their limitations. Let me hit you with something real, something most people go their entire lives avoiding. Rejection by family is one of the deepest cuts a human being can experience. It gets into your skin, into your bones. It shakes your identity because it makes you question everything. What's wrong with me? But here's what they don't tell you. The rejection you experienced had nothing to do with your value. It had everything to do with their inability to see beyond their own wounds. People don't reject you because you're broken. They reject you because you no longer play small enough to fit into their broken mold. Your expansion forces them to face the parts of themselves they've suppressed for decades, and that terrifies them. Because if you can rise, then it means they chose not to. Their rejection is not an indication that you're unworthy. It's a confirmation that you're evolving. They see your light, and instead of being inspired, they hide from it. That's not your fault. That's their fear. You have to stop interpreting their silence, their mockery, their passive aggression as truth. It's not truth, it's trauma echoing through them. You weren't rejected because you were too much. You were rejected because you stopped being controllable. You no longer fed their dysfunction. You started creating boundaries. You started choosing self-respect. And let me tell you something. When you start choosing yourself, people who've built their worth on your self-abandonment will call it betrayal. That's not your betrayal, that's your breakthrough. The rejection was a mirror, one that showed you how deep your own self-love had to go. Because when the people closest to you can't see your worth, you better believe it's time to see it yourself. You were never too loud, too weird, too ambitious, too emotional. You were just too awake for their comfort. The day you realize their rejection was their limitation, not your reflection, is the day you take your power back. So don't shrink, don't silence your voice, don't question your path. Their rejection, that was your redirection to purpose. Your growth may trigger those who choose to remain the same. Growth is not convenient. It doesn't whisper politely. It doesn't ask for permission. It demands you move. And when you grow, when you start to evolve, To heal, to dream bigger, you disrupt every person in your life who's still committed to staying the same. Make no mistake, growth triggers people because when you change, you remove the mirrors that made them feel safe in their stagnation. You start showing them what's possible. And that's uncomfortable. They might mock you, distance themselves, roll their eyes, talk behind your back. But deep down, what they're really saying is, you remind me of everything I was too afraid to become. Their resistance is not rejection, it's reflection. They see the version of themselves they buried a long time ago, and seeing you rise resurrects that part in them. That's not easy. That's not fun. That's scary. And some people would rather sabotage you than confront themselves. But hear me, your job is not to slow down to make them feel better. Your job is to keep moving so that one day maybe they'll find the courage to move too. Do not let their discomfort become your ceiling. Do not confuse their fear for your fate. Your expansion is a call. It's an invitation to those around you. And whether they accept that invitation or not is their choice, not your responsibility. Yes, it will be lonely sometimes. Yes, you'll be misunderstood. But greatness has always been born in isolation, not applause. Your growth is not arrogance. Your transformation is not betrayal. It's truth. It's liberation. So let them be triggered. Let them talk. Let them misunderstand. Because the people who are meant to grow with you, they'll be inspired, not intimidated. You are the cycle breaker, the chosen one to shift your family's story. There comes a point in every family line where someone is chosen to say, enough. Enough of the silence, enough of the shame, enough of the guilt, passed down like an inheritance. The summon is you. You are the cycle breaker. You are the one who saw the pattern and refused to repeat it. You are the one who woke up in a lineage of sleepwalkers. You are the one who said it ends with me. And that role isn't glamorous. It's not celebrated. In fact, it's often punished. Because the moment you break the cycle, you expose the dysfunction everyone else agreed to pretend didn't exist. But hear this, you were not cursed with this burden. You were entrusted with this mission. The strength it takes to heal what hurts you without becoming what hurts you, that's divine work. That's sacred. That's sacred legacy level transformation. Your ancestors may not have had the tools, your parents may not have had the awareness, but you have the courage to feel what they buried, courage to speak what they silenced, courage to love yourself in a way they never knew how. You were never too sensitive. You were never the odd one out. You were the one who was called to heal, called to rebuild, called to become the blueprint for what's possible. And yes, the role is lonely, but it is also holy. You may not receive applause. You may not get their gratitude, but generations after you will feel the impact of the stand you took. You are not breaking your family apart. You are breaking them open. And one day, whether they say it or not, they'll know that the healing began with you. DNA doesn't define your destiny. Your vision does. You were born into a family, yes, but you were not born to be confined by it. DNA gave you your bloodline, but your vision, that's what defines your lifeline. So many people believe their past determines their future, that if they come from poverty, they're bound to struggle. If they come from trauma, they're bound to suffer. If they come from dysfunction, they're bound to repeat it. But you are living proof that origin is not ownership. You can come from chaos and still create peace. You can come from silence and still find your voice. You can come from nothing and still become everything. The truth is, your family gave you biology, but your choices give you destiny. Your future is not written in your last name. It's written in your next decision. When your vision gets big, when your dreams get loud, when your boundaries get strong, some people will try to drag you back with guilt. They'll say, don't forget where you came from. But let me tell you something. You can honor where you came from without being trapped by it. You can say, I love you, but I'm choosing different. You can say, thank you for what you gave me, but I'm building something new. You were not born to carry the weight of your family's past. You were born to rise into the power of your own future. It's your vision that will lead you out of their limitations. It's your vision that will draw in your real tribe. the one aligned with your mission, your heart, your soul. You don't need permission from your bloodline to change your storyline. Because when your vision becomes clear, the past loses its grip and you finally become who you were always meant to be. Pain transforms into power when you own your truth unapologetically. Let's talk about pain, not the surface level kind. I'm talking about the kind that wakes you up at 3 a.m., the kind that breaks you open from the inside out. That kind of pain doesn't go away just because you pretend it doesn't exist. It doesn't disappear just because your family told you to get over it. You know what turns pain into poison? Suppression, silence, shame. Here's the good news. Pain is also a portal. It's a doorway to power. It's the forge where strength is born. And the moment you stop running from it, when you face it, own it, speak it, you become unstoppable. There's nothing more powerful than a human who refuses to apologize for their healing. When you say, yes, I was abandoned, yes, I was betrayed, yes, I was rejected, but I didn't let it define me, you become a lighthouse for others, still drowning in the storm. Your truth may make others uncomfortable, so what? Comfort zones never created world changers. You don't have to package your truth to make it more palatable. You don't have to soften your pain to make others feel safe. Your story is sacred, your healing is holy, and your truth is non-negotiable. It is not your job to make your healing journey convenient for others. It is your job to own it like your life depends on it, because it does. Every scar is a survival story. Every tear is proof that you refuse to stay broken. Every wound you turned into wisdom is a weapon in your arsenal now. So don't hide it, don't shrink it, don't second guess it, because when you own your truth fully and unapologetically, your pain becomes your superpower. Seeking validation from the wrong people will keep you stuck. There is no prison more suffocating than living for approval. You keep looking over your shoulder, waiting for a good job or I'm proud of you that never comes. You keep bending, shrinking, twisting, hoping maybe this time you'll be enough. But the hard truth is this. You're seeking validation from people who don't even understand your value. They couldn't see you then and they can't see you now, not because you're invisible, but because their lens is broken. They only know how to love you if you fit into their expectations. And you outgrew those expectations the moment you chose your own path. The moment you stopped repeating the pattern, the moment you started healing, the moment you dreamed of something more. That's when they stopped clapping and you thought it meant you were wrong, but it meant you were finally doing something right. Because when you live for applause, you die by silence. Validation is a drug. It'll keep you chasing approval instead of chasing alignment. But here's the shift. You weren't born to be understood by everyone. You were born to be aligned with your purpose, even if no one claps. You have to become your own source of validation. You have to look in the mirror and say, I'm proud of you, even if nobody else does. Because the moment you stop needing it from them is the moment you get it from within. And when you operate from internal validation, you become magnetic, unshakable, free. So stop begging for breadcrumbs of approval from people who can't even feed themselves emotionally. You don't need their permission to become who you were always meant to be. True family is not always by blood, but by energy, truth, and shared growth. Let's redefine what family really means. Family isn't just the people you share DNA with. It's not just who raised you, who birthed you, who shares your last name. True family is the people who see your soul and still choose you. It's the ones who show up when it's messy. The ones who celebrate your wins and sit with you in the dark. The ones who don't need you to shrink for them to feel big. Some of the most damaging people in your life may be the ones related to you. And some of the most healing people, you haven't even met them yet. Blood might connect you genetically, but energy connects you spiritually. You get to choose your family. You get to choose who earns a seat at your table. And sometimes that means letting go of people who were born into your life but aren't aligned with your growth. It's not betrayal, it's protection. Because your peace, your purpose, your healing They're sacred, and not everyone is equipped to be in the room with that kind of power. Look for the ones who speak your truth even when it's inconvenient, the ones who push you forward, not pull you back, the ones who don't flinch when you rise. Your soul family won't ask you to explain yourself. They'll just nod and say, I get it. They'll cheer you on without envy. They'll hold space without judgment. They'll walk beside you, not above you. That's family. And when you find them or when you start building them, everything changes, because true family, it's chosen, it's earned, and it's built through truth, not tradition. If you want, I can bundle all of this into a polished script format for a live event, video, or PDF presentation, or add opening/closing segments to wrap it all up like a full keynote. Want to roll with that? You weren't rejected, you were released. So here you are. You've walked through betrayal, you felt the sting of rejection, you've questioned your worth, you've cried behind closed doors, you've begged for love that never came. You've tried to fit into rooms that shrunk your soul, but today, that version of you is done, because you finally understand something most people never will. Rejection by your family wasn't the end, it was the beginning. It was the universe pulling you out of the pattern so you could be the one to break it. You weren't cast out, you were called up, called into growth, called into healing, called into leadership, called into becoming the version of yourself that your bloodline never saw coming, but future generations will thank you for. You didn't lose family, you lost people who were never meant to walk the full path with you. And in losing them, you found yourself. You found your strength, you found your voice, you found your peace, you found your fire. And now you rise. No more waiting for their validation, no more chasing their approval, no more watering yourself down just to keep the connection, because now you know. The deepest betrayal can birth the greatest breakthrough. You were betrayed by blood, yes, but that betrayal became the birthplace of your becoming. You were rejected, but not broken. You were abandoned, but not alone. You are hurt, but never helpless, because you are the one who will take the pain and turn it into power, the one who will take the silence and turn it into a voice, the one who will take the wound and turn it into a weapon of healing. This is your legacy now, not one of survival, but of transcendence. So walk out of this moment not wounded, but warrior born. Your story begins now, not because they accepted you, but because you finally accepted yourself.